Australia, and this is the West Indies team. Adrian Bharat and Craig Brathwaite will be opening the batting in this test series. Then we have Kirk Edwards coming into the team, not seen in the one-day internationals. Darren Bravo, not very successful in the ODIs or the T20, but expected to do a lot better in the longer form of the game. Shivnarayan Chandrapal, the old war horse, still just 37 years old though, and look at those runs and a very healthy average. Narsingh Deonarayan will be coming in at number 6, also expected to do a bit of off-spin bowling if required. Then the captain Darren Sammy at 7, Carlton Baugh retains his position as the wicket keeper at 8. And then we have the specialist bowlers, Kimar Roach, Devendra Bishu and Fidel Edwards.
Australian side, familiar but some new faces coming in. David Warner we saw through the one-day series. Ed Cowan's been fantastic at the top of the order and will play a key role. Shane Watson at the new number 3 position. The veteran Ricky Ponting, Michael Clark. A lot of runs expected out of these two. Mike Hussey, Matthew Wade playing a key role there. Peter Siddle, the first of the bowlers. Ryan Harris, Ben Hilfenhaus and Nathan Lyon. I think Lyon will play a key role coming later on in the series.
Ryan Harris, the man just waiting for the umpire. Ian Gould and Tony Hill, the man in charge. Ian Gould's at 3W stand in. Ryan Harris with the new Kookaburra.
That's a beautiful delivery to start off with. First up, batsman seemingly in behind it, and the ball just leaving him into the gloves of the keeper. Superb delivery from Harris.
Well, nerves often play a part early on in a test match for both the bowlers and the batsmen. Harris has got that exactly on line, and I think we'll give the batsman a little bit of credit there. I think you've pulled the bat inside the line, so good delivery to start with.
Just got that fine, just a little nudge. Down to fine leg for 4. So Brathwaite just nudging it wide of the keeper for a boundary.
Opening batsmen love this delivery. It's dragged down just on the hip. Well, it needs a little help on its way.
Back towards the bowler and put down. Almost came to him too slowly. That was the first opportunity for a wicket.
Oh, you should take those. That should have been taken. A missed opportunity.
Loose in the air, but wide of the gully.
A bit of good fortune there for Adrian Bharat.
Now Clark's working the chess pieces around the board at the moment. And that is in the air, but in the gap. Siddle puts the hands to the heads, and well, Mayhe, that was a false shot. It was loose, it was in the air. But that's safe, and there's no fieldsman to catch it. And the bouncer, it's in the air and taken around the wicket. The bouncer's worked out. Harris is successful, and Australia get their first wicket.
And you could see with the field placement, with the leg gully going in, it was definitely going to be short. It's always difficult to control it from there, going across. Siddle comes in, takes a comfortable catch. That's a breakthrough Australia needed.
He's out for 22. Harris, the successful bowler. West Indies now 38 for 1. Kirk Edwards, the new batsman. This one's chopped away off the outside edge, and that will bring 4. No second slip to stop. That was not a catch.
Lovely shot by Edwards. On drive, over pitched. Ends the over 55 for 1.
Very short next to the pitch.
And just through there. Well, Ponting's gone, no one at home. And a boundary to Edwards. He's gone over the top. Deliberate shot by Edwards. Gone first bounce 4.
It's a nice uncomplicated stroke. Nobody in the outfield. A lot of reward if you hit it sweetly, and he has.
Edged. Looking for the drive through mid-off extra cover. Finds it down to third man. But only 2 slips in. He's fortunate. But he's hit that really well now. Edwards on the go now.
What's so impressive about this stroke is there's some footwork to it. He doesn't just play for the crease. Out he comes, makes an early decision, and gives it the kitchen sink. Love to see footwork against the spinners.
Emphatic way to raise the 100.
Dropped it. It would have been an excellent catch by Ricky Ponting.
Ponting, fantastic effort. Just watched that the whole way and just bounced up. He had enough to almost get the other hand to it, just couldn't quite take it.
That's gone a long way. Not afraid to hit in the air in that direction.
And as we've just analysed well and truly, that's going to be his strong area. That's going to be where he wants to hit.
He's not afraid to go in the air either. He knows he can clear that man. That's a good shot. Brings up his half century over long off.
Well, we just found out he can't go over the offside. He was just waiting.
Mid full and with mid off up. Didn't take too much to clear him.
He's playing with a lot more confidence now, Kirk Edwards, and that's going to earn him a boundary. Very upright with that stroke. In the air and dropped again. Well, the trap was set, and the Australians just don't seem intent on taking it today.
The delivery from Siddle, it's full, it's swinging. He gets the edge. And Shane Watson, who is very reliable in the slip area, it must be said, he drops very few. Gets that one coming at him hard and head high. And rebounds off his hands.
He's gone after that one as well, and this could earn him another boundary. Slowing up, but still beating the field. He'll feel the pain the most. Back towards him and taken this time. Hit very, very hard. David Warner gets his first test wicket to break a partnership that the Australians didn't seem to want to break.
Well, the Australians have put down some catches. And Kirk Edwards middled that. Unfortunately, middled it straight back in the vicinity of David Warner. That is the end of an excellent innings from Kirk Edwards. He's gone for 61. West Indies lose their second wicket with 142 on the board.
New man at the crease is someone with sumptuous talent. Pretty impressive average already with 300s. Darren Bravo. Going over the top. Good hit.
Well, that'll get rid of a few of the butterflies. Nothing hesitant about this. It's a decent delivery. It lands in a foot mark. Darren Bravo says, well, I don't like that. Get out of here.
Very, very close. No wonder Harris is perplexed with how he could possibly leave that one. Missing the stump by 2.47 centimetres.
Just feathering at that, and he's gone. After all of that hard work, a soft dismissal from Craig Brathwaite and a wicket for Peter Siddle.
Catch there for a nice easy catch there for Wade's first dismissal in Test cricket. Siddle worked very hard for this. Just a lazy shot. It's one that just...
He's gone for 57. The luck has run out. 167 for 3. He's now in his 19th year of international cricket. Shivnarine Chanderpaul. Way down the leg side. And Shiv Chanderpaul just paddling it away to pick up 4.
No third man, boundary to Chandapol, guided down between second slip and gully. Siddle holds his head, but Chandapol, deliberate shot.
Catch! Oh.
Well, he's hammered that through. It was in the air. There were shouts of catch, but it was short enough, and Bravo saw the opportunity, went back and just laced it. Back he goes and cuts it between the fielders for the second boundary in the over. Typical left-hander's shot.
Again, for the second time in the morning, almost a half edge, half guide from Chandapol earns him a boundary. Got that one away. Favorite area for the left-hander, driving with the open face.
Good looking shot. Not too sure Mr. Harris was impressed.
That's even better. More of the full face of the bat, forward a square for a second consecutive boundary.
We're all saying during the one-day series that Darren Bravo was not in very good form. All he wanted was his whites. All he wanted was traditional cricket, to get back to just playing cricket instead of having to be improvising and scoring a bit too fast. Class player.
And that's what he sweats on. Just that little bit of width and the timing. Absolutely amazing. Now that's raced away for four. It's just the balance he gets. He gets himself in position and just hits through the line.
A bowl again, but 4 runs. Moral victory for Siddle, scoring victory for Chandapol. Drive in the air, but well over the top of those 2 gullies. Darren Bravo picks up 4. Michael Clark can't believe it. Bravo flashes again. Flashes hard and gets another 4 consecutive boundaries to bring up Darren Bravo's half century.
Bravo in strike now. And caught in the gully. So Harris gets a wicket, and Bravo slicing a catch down to gully, and the breakthrough has been made by Australia after a long session this morning.
Well, they've been working for this all morning. Look at that upright seam. Not managing to get the full face of the bat on the ball, Darren Bravo, and it just sliced off the face into that gully region. That's why they have 2 men in the gully. Got a half century though, Darren Bravo. It's 240 for 4.
So the new batsman is Narsingh Deonaran, returning to the West Indies team. Played his last test match on this ground against South Africa. Watson continues. Deonaran slices it wide of gully. Oof. Very similar to the way that Bravo went. But he's off the mark with 4. And that flew. That absolutely flew over the head of the keeper. Goes for 4. Seems to have come off the helmet or something. Leg by is given. Way over the head of the keeper.
That's interesting. Passed pretty close to the glove, but the umpire has signalled leg bite, so perhaps it was a shoulder that it glanced off on the way down to the boundary. Yes, just hitting the shoulder.
Nicely tucked away off the hip and gone for 4. Deflection by Deonaran gets him a boundary. Chopped away by Chandapol, short, bad delivery. Chandapol had the room to make the shot and gets a boundary for it.
It's a wonderful shot there from Chandapol, just waiting on the ball. There's that timing again, just doesn't try and overhit it, just pushes it in the gap, races away for 4.
In the air but over the top. Starting to play a few shots with lunchtime approaching. They certainly have the appetite to push things along. Growing in confidence, Narsingh Deonarine. He won't cut it off.
A little bit inside out through the offside field. And again, the timing.
And he's prospering, not just surviving. Over the top for 6.
It's a fantastic shot from Chanderpaul. Using his feet well, hitting over mid-on.
Good hit to end the over. 285 for 4. In the air, high into the air and taken. That's another wicket they were looking for. A full shot from Narsingh Deonarine. Simple catch for the keeper.
It's just sort of a nothing shot. It's a little tuck around the corner. Just trying to flick that around. It's the line sliding across to well outside off stumps. Probably something could almost be let go or actually hit through the offside instead of just trying to tuck it around the corner on the leg side. Wade takes a simple catch. West Indies 285 for 5.
It was 9 years ago that Carlton Bow played his first test match. It was against Australia, but that was in Port of Spain, Trinidad, now in Bridgetown, Barbados. A nothing shot as well, but he gets away with it. Edged and put down. Was difficult. Yesterday Ponting going to his right, couldn't hold on. And now a really tough one. Couldn't come up with it.
Just see there, there's no footwork. He's not getting forward. Almost an exact replica as the one that went the other side.
Almost onto the stumps. Good footwork from Carlton Bow.
Just that uncertainty there. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. It was sort of wanted to play, wanted to leave, caught in two minds. That's a fancy. That's obviously must be why they play football in the warm-up. Just in case those things happen, he's done well to get that away. The big thing was he kept his eye on the ball. He realised where it was, watched where it was, didn't panic, and just took the time just to flick it away.
Got that even better. That's going to run away. And giving up the chase already.
Good shot. 2 men out, but he found the gap. Carlton Bow. Oh, problems. Has to rush back. That's close. That is very close. I think Bow might be gone. Once he started off that quickly and then got the no call from Shivaraj Chandrapal, he was always going to be in trouble if that ball hit the stumps. Goes for 22, Bow. 3-1-6 for 6. No one out in the deep. That's a boundary for Shivnarayan Chandrapal. He's now the leading run scorer here at the Kensington Oval. So Nathan Lyon will continue. Just wide of the bowler, but it's 4 runs for Sammy. Well, that's another hefty blow towards the boundary. 1 bounce, I would suggest. Well, that goes over his head. Maybe he needs to go right back onto the boundary.
He's cocked it, ducked into it. Rather inelegant way to land after being struck. He's going to examine the helmet now.
So you can see the nice indent there on the side of the helmet. Definitely be a new one coming out, I think. It's just about watching the ball. It's probably not short enough really to be trying to duck under that.
Now what's next? Absolute straight hit. That's the way to do it. Absolute straight hit for 6.
Well, there was 2 options happening there. It was either going to be another one halfway down or it was going to be full. Sammy's backed it to be full. I'm not sure how many more will be coming up that length. I'll tell you what, he's hit that right out of the middle of that, has gone a long way. And he's held the stroke nicely as well, just for the cameras, just for the pose.
That's bad bowling. You've just hit him in the helmet, you've got to bowl short from there on. There he goes again. Straight back past the bowler. Hits it really hard and straight. There he goes again. Hoyt into the Greenwich and Haynes stand for another 6 for Darren Sammy.
He's had the opportunity with a couple of full ones to get his eye in with it. And to be honest, after the last one down the ground, you knew it was going to be short. He sat back for it. And a fantastic shot up into the stands.
Another big hit, and that's another 6. Maybe he was aiming for the warehouses at the back of the ground, but the miscue still doesn't deprive him of another 6.
When someone comes out and bats like this in a test match, it certainly puts the opposition totally off.
Miscued and should be taken now. It is. Comfortable catch. Looking into the late afternoon sun, Ed Cowan. But it couldn't last. It was entertaining, but he couldn't carry on.
The West Indies needed an innings like this. They would have loved to have seen it carry on a bit longer. But at some point you're going to miscue one of those big shots and you fall, as Darren Sammy has done there. Valuable knock though, 41 runs in quick time, 369 for 7.
Kemar Roach has come into the crease.
Edged away, goes for 4. Outside edge from Roach. Now Lyon comes round the wicket to Chandapol. And bowls a short delivery and Chandapol puts it away. No difficulty whatever. Bad ball from Lyon. He's had a rough time in this match so far. And that raises the 400 for the West Indies. 401 for 7. Well, that's the first genuine leg before appeal we've had for the match, and they've called for a review on it. Well, the umpire's decision will stand. Wickets not hitting enough of the off stump. Umpire Tony Hill, a close one, a good delivery, and the review has failed, but it was very, very close indeed. Well taken, very good catch, and again that's just gone on with the arm. Good diving catch. Michael Clarke hangs on to it, and Nathan Lyon has got reward, finding the edge of Roach's bat. So the West Indies have lost their 8th wicket, and that's the second time in the over that he's caused problems. The first time reviewed, very close but given not out, and now the edge found, and Clarke hangs on to a very good left-handed catch, sharp at slip.
West Indies lose their 8th wicket.
So Phelan Edwards, fast bowler, has come in. Over the top and just over the top, and it goes for 4. Shout was catch. And it's come off the edge and down towards third man. Will go across the ropes, and that's another boundary to Edwards.
This one seems more aggressive, in the air and caught. Poor shot by Fidel Edwards. Really out of character, and especially in the circumstances with a teammate on 95, but the Australians will be delighted.
Not necessary. Not necessary at all at this point. Not with Shivnarine Chandrapal on 95. But I suppose a lower order batsman sees a ball that short, he thinks to himself, lots of runs. Well, Mike Hussey had other ideas. 421 for 9.
Devendra Bishu at the non-strikers end, fellow Guyanese. Another short ball that's gone away for 4. Just another day at the office for Shivnarine Chandrapal. It's been 18 years now. And there he goes, he's got it. Another test 100 for Shivnarine Chandrapal. They'll settle on 2. but it's 101 on the board for this long-time servant of West Indies cricket. A 25th Test 100, 5th against Australia, 4th at this very famous ground.
And it's over the top. Adventurous shot by Bishu down towards the boundary, and it goes for 4. So he ends the over with the boundary. 4:36 for 9. Sliced away. They like that. Gone for 4.
Yeah.
There it is. Declaration made by Darren Sammy. 449 for 9. The West Indies declare. Shiv Narayan Chandapur finishes 103. Not out. Yet another 100 for this enduring left-hander. Bishu has played his part. He's 18. And now the West Indies will have just about perhaps 45 minutes bowling at Australia tonight.
That's the situation at the moment, with the West Indies having declared on 449 for 9. Shivnarayan Chandrapali, yet again another 3-figure score for him, and he has now gone up to 3rd on the list of centuries for the West Indies. Not many occasions that we have seen that happening, with the West Indies declaring in the first innings, but that's what they have done on this occasion against Australia. Australia threw everything at the West Indies, as you would expect. Captain Michael Clarke just bowled his couple of overs, but in all, 8 bowlers bowled. Harris the most successful. He and Warner got a couple wickets each. Warner, of course, getting his first ever Test wicket yesterday, and then picking another one up today. Hilfenau, Siddle, Lyon and Watson, 1 wicket each.
But this man could be a key in this tricky period of play for Australia towards the end of the day. Ed Cowan, Test match specialist. He's got that away in the air for a while, but wide of gully. He gets off the mark. Ed Cowan, 11 without loss.
Trying to be positive early and get Australia off to a good start.
And that is a good start. That is a delightful cover drive. Big gap between mid-off and the man behind point. Plenty of spaces to play that shot. That is a terrific stroke. Not the cut, 180 degrees, the opposite side of the field. The pull shot out the middle of the back to end the 6th over. Australia 23 without loss.
It's important at these stages. You've just got to make them play as often as possible. You've got to not push too hard. The tendency is to go out there and bowl as fast as you can and try and basically get 10 wickets.
Pulled away powerfully. The cut shot's not working for either batsman, but the pull shot is. That one's dragged down and put away. Poor delivery. 9 overs gone, 43 for none.
Really got down on that one, and it picks up a boundary. Almost on bended knee, David Warner. Boundary to end the over, bringing up the 50 as well. 50 without loss. Gets the edge and he's got him. Darren Sammy does it again. He may not be the most lethal, but he's very, very effective.
Just pushing out in front of the pad there. Good angle from Sammy. It's just consistency this morning, hitting the same area, putting the pressure on. And the West Indies get the wicket they were after.
Ed Cowan goes for 14, it's 50 for 1. Number 3 is always a pivotal position. And Shane Watson occupies it for Australia. Couple of runs here for Watson. In fact, it goes all the way, very well timed. Especially when you serve up deliveries like that. Nice juicy full toss. David Warner won't miss out. This is going to be a good appeal. He's got a few seconds, he's going to review it.
This is going to be tight. This is going to be really tight.
Is that enough? It's the outside half of the ball. The majority of the ball is on the outside. Still worth it.
I don't think that one's out, but he was fairly lucky to escape an appeal in the last over when he didn't play a shot. Maybe Kimo needs to appeal a bit harder for those.
Edged and caught. Darren Bravo, the man in the slip cordon.
Very similar dismissal to Ed Cowan, playing forward to a ball leaving him. Big wicket for the West Indies, 65 for 2.
That's what the scorecard looks like at the moment. That's exactly what the West Indies would have been hoping for. Early wickets this morning, and Darren Sammy, the captain, has struck on both occasions. Cowan and Warner back in the pavilion.
Beautifully played. Found the gap between extra cover and mid-off. Just beginning now, Watson, to play the shots of which we know he's capable. His favourite shots, drives down the ground. That's a lovely shot for 4. And run out, gone. Well, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. All sorts of confusion.
It's a great return there, right over Bales, and he could have turned and thrown the other end and gone the double play. Australia 84 for 3.
Now the captain, Michael Clarke, comes in with a big job to do here.
Short, miscued shouts of catch it, but it's only going to be caught by someone beyond the boundary. A rank long hop, and even though he didn't middle it as well as he wanted to, it's still 6.
Well, that's the nature of the modern day game. See so many batsmen these days seemingly making a mistake, seemingly not hitting the ball as well as they would like, and yet it still goes over the boundary.
Again he goes with the late cut, and this time Kirk Edwards can't do anything about it. In the air but wide of backward point. He's taken the score up to 112 for 3. And beautifully bowled. He's going to go for it upstairs to at least have a look.
On the line initially, but he gets back.
There he uses the feet well. Gets a straight 6. Once you get to the pitch of the ball, the batsman is in control.
That's a good shot.
Big appeal, out leg before, and immediately a cut behind, immediately a review called for, quicker delivery, skidding through, and ball lashes onto it.
They always talk about keepers staying down. It certainly was an insistent appeal.
Changed the decision. So Clarke remains, and the West Indies are dumbfounded.
And he's been disappointing so far, Kemar Roach. Look at his numbers, gone for a few.
He is a wicket taker. He's going to take wickets. He's going to go for runs, but it's just that he needs more than 15 tests.
Well, he's got one now, right away. A poor shot played by Shane Watson, and whatever luck he might have enjoyed, or whatever disaster he's been involved in the morning session, he's got his own tribulations now, and a wicket for Kemar Roach and the West Indies.
A simple catch, but well taken. Australia now 133 for 4.
Mike Hussey made his test debut against the West Indies 6.5 years ago. There he goes, in the air for a while, but he gets off with a boundary.
That's close. might be going down. I think the situation here is that Kemar Roach went very wide on the crease. He's asking if it should be referred. They are referring it.
Bit of angle, is it taking? No, it's missing. Now, Darren Semi's not on the field, so Kirk Edwards is the vice captain. He was at second slip, and he acceded to the request of his fastball. I don't think Darren Semi would have agreed to that. I think he would have been a bit tougher.
And appeal for a catch, not out. Taken by the keeper. Now checking to see if it carried. If it's that's what they're asking about. The appeal was up. Umpire Gould and umpire Hill, and they're going to ask for the television replay. It's an umpire's review, perhaps looking to see if it's a bump ball. Now we'll have the decision come up on the big screen. Looks as if it's going to be not out. Yes, it is not out. Or no, it isn't, whatever way you want to go.
Yes.
And that's hoiked away by Mike Hussey with the turn. Gets a boundary for it. So after a long time settling in, Hussey now beginning to look a little bit more settled. And that's a good shot. Use of feet. Raises a 54. Michael Clark down the pitch and driving. Classical shot from the captain.
He's found the gap there. Trademark shot from Michael Clark. Superbly played. Bisecting the offside and well timed. Bringing up the 200 to end the over. 200 for 4.
Well, a full toss, and he put it away, could have done anything with it, and was always going to be 4 to Hussey. Just a bit of relief for him.
In the air, will it linger long enough? Man under it, takes it. Bishop does get his first wicket. Dionarine, the man underneath it. Clark tried to be aggressive, tried to be attacking. Tried to go to the top and didn't succeed. Well deserved, that man. He has bowled superbly.
Bishop just throwing it up nicely. Michael Clark using his feet. Just looks like he's trying to go over mid on there. Leading edge. And takes it lovely on the chest.
And breathes a sigh of relief. And so does the bowler. Michael Clark goes after a long captain's innings. He's out for 73. Australia lose their 5th wicket. They've got 215 on the board. Matthew Wade has strode to the crease for his first innings in Test cricket. And he gets a long, hot first ball. That is an invitation to Test cricket. And he gets off the mark with a boundary.
You hear the bowler's disappointment there with the first ball to Wade.
Oh, another short ball, just letting Hussey off the hook a little, and short enough to be put away for 4 behind square leg. So perhaps Bishop just feel a little tired now.
Bad delivery and pulled away. So that's relief for Wade.
This could go for 4. It will. Fidel Edwards give anything chase, and in fact he will pull it back. The ball is 95 overs old.
It's a good save, no doubt. He's got a problem with that. Have to replace his divot, but
Gone, taken, very good catch indeed by the keeper. Roach strikes and the West Indies have an early breakthrough. It's a very good catch by Boy. He's been spot on ever since he's come back into the team. So the West Indies make an early breakthrough, and what a breakthrough it is.
well, the second new ball was taken. That seems he's deliberately bowled that across to get that outside edge. That is a terrific catch. This goes quick and low. And Carlton ball at full stretch. We've seen him full stretch above his head, full stretch to the right, and now full stretch to his left. He is continuing a very fine game. Great breakthrough for the West Indies. Mike Hussey, he goes after a long stand, 249 for 6.
Peter Siddle comes in, tall, basically right-arm fast bowler, but anything he can contribute now would be very welcome, and he has contributed in this position in the past for Australia. Well run. Second run they've got for the day, and both of them have come that way. Just a little bit of a defensive shot. So that carries up to 250 in the 100th over. In the air and well taken. Kirk Edwards it is who takes the catch. West Indies have another wicket. Very good catch by Edwards from gully. Was in the air for a long time, of course, but he had to anticipate and got there and held on, rolling over. So Edwards gets his first wicket, 250 for 7 now.
And this was with another shorter ball, very similar to the previous delivery. Siddle doesn't obey the cardinal rule and keep your eye on the ball. Glove, bat handle. Terrific diving catch. This lingers in the air. It just lurks there, and for a moment I thought it was going to drop short, but it's the full length dive that gets Kirk Edwards to that. So the second year ball, once again, has been successful. Good morning for the West Indies so far. Australia 250 for 7.
West Indies have picked up 2 wickets today for the addition of just 2 runs. Wickets in successive overs. Ryan Harris comes in to replace Peter Siddle.
He's got that away. Probably was looking to go squarer, but it's still a boundary.
255 on the board, still well behind the West Indies' first innings score. They don't want the West Indies to get too big a lead.
That's well played. That's going to earn him a boundary.
Not bad thinking from Darren Sammy. I think it was just slightly overpitched. Previous 2 deliveries were deliveries that were tending to go away from the right hand. They're not doing a lot, but pretty much straightening more than coming in. That one came in. Have a look at this. Look at how it comes in. Just a little bit too full though.
And he's got that away well. No third man.
You'll have to say that's a pretty dangerous stroke to be playing though. I've seen Shivnarayan, Chandra Paul and some other top order batsmen play it and look quite comfortable play it in total control. Not too sure numbers 9, 10 and 11 play it with as much control as the guys at the top of the order.
Pulled and away from the fielder goes for 4. Got it fine enough, Wade. Edwards holds his hands on his head, but it was hit finer than fine leg and gets a boundary. So this is a very productive partnership for Australia. They were set back early on.
Really sure he had a lot of control on that. Could change the line just a little bit wider. Just tempting him outside the off stump there after the short ball. Way getting stuck on the crease just a little bit.
Gone, quarter slip. Edwards gets a wicket. Big drive from Wade, and the partnership is broken.
Sliding across, just no footwork, not getting across to that. We saw the ball before, it was sort of hanging out there, tempted him before, and this time just that little bit fuller, drawing Wade into the false stroke. And a comfortable catch taken there at second slip.
So Wade goes, caught by Bravo, second slip off Peter Edwards. Edwards' second wicket for 28. New batsman is Ben Hilfenhaus. That's hoiked away. Well, he waited on it and pulled it away authoritatively for 4. Hilfenhaus. Take that, Edwards, he's saying. Looks at the bat, perhaps saying, well, look at it, get hold of it with a full face. Spanked away.
Good shot from Hilfenhaus with the field set and how it was pretty obvious he wasn't going to get a lot full. Backing himself, backing his ability.
Good drive down the ground for 4. Well struck. Useful runs here for Australia from the lower order.
Bishu's just got to be patient here. It's a little bit full Hilfenhaus driving down the ground. Lower order is going to back themselves. They can all hold a bat and they're going to be as positive as they can. Try and get as close to the target as possible, just to make life more difficult for the West Indies.
It goes again. Now that's downhill. And that'll go for 4. Very, very fast on that side. So 2 4s in the over. That wasn't intended. He was just driving a very thick outside edge. But it goes away for 4. Signaled by the umpire and by some Australians in the crowd who appreciate it. Raises the 300. 301 for 8. Brilliantly stopped. May have been a little inside edge perhaps, but certainly brilliantly intercepted. Well, if it did, then you'll have to class it as a drop catch, but oh, gee, just past the leg stump.
The ball just that little bit of in swing again. Hilfenhaus trying to hit straight.
Well played. Just getting some width outside the off stump. And he gets another boundary. Another extended morning session has seen 3 wickets go down for Australia. And a bit of resistance from the tail, Harris and Hilfenhaus, helping themselves to a few and frustrating the West Indies just a bit. Thick outside edge on 4 and his highest test score.
Ryan Harris is considered a bowling all-rounder. He's certainly in Australian domestic cricket. I'm sure he'll build on that record of 39.
Took his eyes off it. Took one on the body, one for the team. And that will sting for a while. End of the over. 316 for 8.
Well, we saw Peter settle out in almost exact fashion, take his eye off the ball to a delivery of about this length. Obviously not bouncing as high as he was expecting.
Short ball, took it on the helmet.
Well, the Australians are in the walls at the moment. Harris struck on the hand, Hilfenhaus struck on the lid. Was given leg by, so we don't think there's any bat or glove on the way through. He's trying to play the hook shot right on the badge.
That swung away very well. Stood and delivered.
Well, Hilfenhaus not phased by being hit on the helmet. It's almost as if he's waiting for this one, and Edwards hasn't disappointed him. Not quite bounced the length. That's the pull shot rather than the hook shot. And very well played.
Bishu just a little bit short. Hilfenhaus taking full toll. Plenty of time out in the middle at the moment. He's seen a few short ones. I think he's seen the ball quite well and happy to see it a little bit slower and placed it beautifully.
Bold. A bit too ambitious.
There it is, hitting the top of the stumps. Just that fuller length Hilfenhaus looking to try and hoik that over the mid-wicket area. And again, length. It was a good length. It was full enough to hit the stumps, but not sort of where it could just sit there and hit through the line.
Well, he was aiming for mid-wicket.
Australia lose their 9th wicket for 329.
So Nathan Land, the last batsman in for Australia. That's a good shot. Totally unexpected, I would have to say. Looking for 3 and gets them.
Just that length though, wasn't it? I know you were talking about just being outside off stump, but obviously it would have been the length as well and getting it through. Shot there from line, playing straight down the line of it.
There it is. He'll get a bit more than the single required to get him to a half century. Ryan Harris, happy with 2. That's well played.
It's a great knock from Ryan Harris. It was when Australia needed it.
Very good shot down the ground. So really the momentum going all Australia now. Lyon gets into the act with a boundary.
And the body language of the West Indies, as just demonstrated by the skipper, not as it should be. It's a half volley. Lots of number 11s around the world put half volleys away.
Down the wicket and over the top, no one's going to get there. Across comes Roach and it beats him to the boundary. Rather tired chase from Roach. He does get there in the end. Down the leg side and it'll go away for 4. Could be byes here. No, just a little deflection and a boundary.
More than just frustrating, this will be infuriating for the West Indies, because it leaves them almost balancing on a bit of a knife edge right now. More runs here. That's going to run away.
Lyons played straight throughout the innings so far and ends waited for the bowler to make the mistake. Sammy over pitching there, full toss. Big thing, the placement, just getting it away into the gap for 4.
More runs here. That's going to be 4 again.
I think it just shows there, and it's trying to bowl. Like, it seems like the West Indies are trying to bowl them out every ball. They're trying to get the wicket, and sometimes it almost means you step back. You go into almost a not a boring pattern, but just take it back. You want the control. You want to be hitting through just outside off stump. Treat it like you've got 2 players in it, sort of on 70 or 80, batting well, and it's getting into the good lines and good areas.
In the air, but wide of second slip. And the frustration grows for the West Indies. The resistance continues for Australia. And he's got him this time. But it's going to be referred.
And we could have almost had a run out there as well. Harris was quite interested in referring that, and the throw came in down on the 3rd man boundary, paying attention, got the throw in quickly.
Missing, at least from what we're seeing here.
It's a good referral there from Harris, using the height aspect. He gestured straight to line where it had hit. And when you've got them up your sleeve, you can use them, and it's kept Australia out there a little bit longer.
Here's Bishu. Hoiked away. Goes for 4. Now the score's becoming virtual party. Still a lead for the West Indies, but still virtual party now as they cross 400. And a big appeal for a leg before, but it's off the edge of field. Let's wait for the umpire to make the signal. No, it's a leg by, so looked very, very close indeed.
Like a couple of others we've seen, it closer than you'd imagine. Well, the West Indies declared, and that was a nice psychological blow for them against the Australians. And there's signs of activity up in that Australian dressing room. Some warming up done and some stretching. Perhaps one of 2 things. They're expecting Michael Clark to call the troops in and say, yeah, look, we'll have a little shot at winning this game. We'll declare behind, 43 behind at the moment, or they're expecting a wicket to fall.
Don't know what gives them that idea. 406 for 9, and there's a declaration. You've read it well. So Australia have declared at 406 for 9, opening up the match. West Indies now have a lot of thinking to do. they've been crestfallen with what has happened over the last 3 wickets. They would have felt that they had a lead of around 150 or thereabouts coming up. Now that's been reduced all the way down to just 43. So there's a bit of parity in the West Indies, who've been out on the field now today for over 3 hours, over 3.5 hours in the heat. Now find themselves against an Australian team which has been buoyed by the performance of their low-order batsmen. Here's where the match stands. 449 for 9 declared West Indies. Australia 406 for 9 declared. Bowlers had a lot of work to do. We'll be back to see how the West Indies get on in their second innings.
43 runs behind, so they were looking now, Australia, to try and get some early wickets to put some pressure on this West Indies team.
Well, this is going to be very interesting for sure. Australia have thrown down the gauntlet. They've conceded a deficit of 43 runs. Adrian Barth, opening the batting, will be on strike, was off the field for a lot of time yesterday because of another leg muscle twinge. Just a gentle push. That new ball will travel some distance. Adrian Barth gets himself and the West Indies off the mark. Declarations in the first innings for both teams. One certainly seemed on the cards, the other at 250 for 7. Didn't look likely at all for Australia. Bowl him! Right through the gate. And Australia looking to justify that aggressive move by their captain.
That's another thing that we haven't seen change too much in the game, Faz. The bouncer and then the well pitched up delivery. Not quite a Yorker, but well pitched up. Found the gap. Reasonable gap there between bat and pad. And the leg stump disturbed. Well bowled, Ben Hilfenhaus. That's what Australia would have been hoping for. It's 2 for 1.
The new batsman is Kirk Edwards. Very impressive start to his test career. He got that 4th 50 on the opening day of this test match. No one close in on the leg side.
Leg by signal by umpire Ian Gould. Let's have a look at this dismissal again. Not a lot of movement, just a bit, and then instead of it continuing to go away as it started to do, just straightened, and that went through the gap. Ben Hilfenhaus has been getting the ball to go away from the right hander, and that one just hinted at going away and then straightened.
Chasing a wide one, and he's got him. He's walking away immediately. Both openers gone. Poor, uncharacteristic shot from the usually phlegmatic Craig Brathwaite.
We saw a few of those flashes in the first innings from Craig Brathwaite, but that was after he had been in for quite some time. Not accustomed to seeing this at this early stage of his innings. And that was wide. Started wide and was going even wider. Flashed at it and a very, very thin edge. Very thin edge, did not wait on the umpire either. He knew he had touched it, and so he headed back to the pavilion. So, quick strike again by Australia. 2 openers, both back in the pavilion. 3 for 2.
Pressure, pressure and more pressure for the West Indies right now. Darren Bravo has come to the crease. 2 wickets down already. We're just in over number 3. Has he come up with it? Not too sure. He's not sure.
Well, the umpires are having a chat. The square leg umpire perhaps would have been able to see from his angle if it bounced in front. One just gets the impression, though, that it will be referred. And we know when these catches are referred how inconclusive they can be.
It's difficult to say.
I think you can just about see that it touches the ground before, but as I have said before, these can be so inconclusive. It's very, very difficult because of the foreshortening of the lens to see if that actually went in or not. But just looking at the way his fingers are there, you would then surmise that the ball will have touched the ground. There's not a lot between the ball and what it would have been the ground when it was in that position. Third umpire has relayed what he has seen to the standing umpire. Well, it seems that the explanation was given to Ricky Ponting. We haven't seen anything else apart from people getting back into positions.
Good delivery and an appeal that is immediately cancelled. Good leaping catch by the keeper.
Might have brushed something on the way through, but Kirk Edwards had both the bat and his gloves out of the way. Let's have a look. Yes, just brushing the shoulder, and then because it brushed the shoulder, it went a bit higher than normal. Good grab by Wade.
Going right across, and he's raised the finger. Let's see if they'll accept it. Will he call for a referral, a review? They're discussing it. Darren Bravo offering an opinion. They're going to refer it. He walked a long way across the stumps.
As it says, clipping leg stump, so the decision stays with the on-field call. So Kirk Edwards has to go. That's the confirmation.
The match has turned on its head. You know, the space of one session, one nightmare session for the West Indies. Edwards goes for one. The West Indies 4 for 3 at the tea interval. Effectively 47 for 3. And the gamble, if it can be called a gamble by Michael Clarke, has paid rich dividends in declaring behind the West Indies first innings total.
We had taken a look at the clouds which were building early on, as they did over the first 3 days late in the day, but no longer. They've dissipated. So I don't think we have a problem with that today.
Please don't say that. Please don't say. You said it yesterday, it was high cloud.
Nice shot, nice sound of the hard ball in the bat, and goes for 4 to Chanderpaul.
What a question. Have they cut one side of the ground a lot shorter than the other? Because it just seems to always race away to that side of the ground so much quicker than it does to the party stand side.
Since the ground was redone, that's been the case. Quite noticeable. I have no idea why it should be like that. I'm sure they cut it to the same length all the way around. And the thing is that over on the western side by the Holden Greenwich Hand, that's the longest side of the ground, and yet it races away down there on the other side, just as if you put a handbrake on towards the end of its run towards the boundary.
It's almost like anything hit out towards the Greenwich Hand side, you chase it very sparingly if it gets through the field, because it's going to race away. Whereas the party stand, you've got to go hard and chase it, and it probably comes in with field placement as well, and having, if you've got a sweeper to that side, you can push him back on the rope knowing it's going to run out to him, whereas maybe the other side, you've got to be a little bit shorter and in off the fence.
Gagan caught behind. Wade holds the catch. Chanderpaul has to go. West Indies 4 down now. And what a wicket that is for Ryan Hines. So the two men, to Ryan Harris, correction. So the two men who did it with the bat are now doing it with the ball. Hilfenhaus and Harris. Chanderpaul goes 17 for 4 West Indies.
It's good areas there from Harris, pushing Chanderpaul across. It's a little edge. It's a good catch from Wade Lowe. Getting there quite comfortably. Just seems as the game's gone on, the pitch is just doing a little bit more to help the bowlers. Fantastic catch there from Wade. West Indies 17 for 4.
So Narsingh, the owner, comes in at 17 for 4, and if there was ever a time for him to show his true colours, he's now come back into the team after a break of 2 years. Absolute crisis for the West Indies. He's just seen the reliable Shivnarine Chandapur caught behind. Australians are absolutely, and immediately there's a referral from Michael Clarke. It's down the leg side, and Bravo just stays there nonchalantly. 17 for 4, it'd be 17 for 5 if the decision has to be overturned.
We're looking at there is whether it's come off the thigh pad or it has flicked the glove on the way through, or shirt. So the system just trying to make sure everything's done right.
Of course, just to repeat, we do not have the hotspot technology, nor are they using the sneakometer. So this is all we have to go on. And that's now cancelled, the reversal cancelled.
He's found the gap, Bravo. And this should have enough to run away.
Just to show you how difficult things have been. Darren Bravo out there for 45 minutes and has just moved on to 5.
A good appeal here, pretty adjacent it looks like. Siddle insistent that he might be in line, having a word with his captain. They're asking the question if he's in line, they're asking if it's too high. Time is going by. Not going to refer it.
I think because they have already lost one referral, and that would have shown that the ball pitched fractionally outside the line of leg stump. Well, apart from it pitching outside leg stump and going over the top, there was nothing wrong with it.
In the air, but to the right of Michael Clarke. Put there exactly for that reason. He put himself there at short extra cover.
The captain and former captain in the catching positions there on the offside.
Suggestion there might have been a touch onto the bat. Throwing the half volley to the keeper.
It's not always the best deliveries that take wickets, and there was a little blade on that, and Matthew Wade actually does well. He comes forward a fraction, and then he's off the bat. Wade comes just forward a little, but never getting there. Batsmen do feel aggrieved when they get strangled down the leg side. It's not the case, fortunately, for Darren Bravo.
Edged and taken now. The one down the leg side fell short, but this time, as he bashes the bat into the ground, walking away, Darren Bravo departs.
Well, there's a frustrated young man. He's battled hard for 78 deliveries. Well, for 77, this is the 78th, and it just leaves him off the seam enough. Matthew Wade doesn't have to come forward to that one. That carries nicely to him, and Peter Siddle makes the breakthrough. The partnership is broken. 67 now. 5 wickets down. Carlton
Bowe was going well in the first innings before he was run out. And, direct hit from Ryan Harris. And now he's got to really buckle down. It's a very difficult, tricky period. Offering no shot, good appeal. Player Tony Hill says not out, and he's asking for a referral. What is Michael Clark going to do? Yes, it will be referred. On-field call. Close, not close enough. Shuffling across, a very good shout, and the fingers up. Walked right across. Dion Ryan looking up towards Carlton Ball, but I think the message sent to him is that you're pretty plumb.
Well, the previous delivery came back at him inside the bat, and so does this. And it's low, it's straightening, and this looks absolutely gone. And Gould gave it a long enough consideration, but that is about as out as it gets. Beautifully bowled from Ryan Harris. Early breakthrough for the Australians. 75 for 6.
Played very aggressively for 41 in the first innings. Took one on the helmet. Responded with a straight 6 of Shane Watson. A very ordinary average. Someone coming in at number 8 in the order. Very well timed by Carlton Ball to earn him a boundary, the first of the morning.
Yeah, nice shot from Ball. Just plays straight to it, gets forward, something Dion Ryan did not do. Very uncomplicated, but as Faz said, it's just a beautiful piece of timing. Now, with this late inward movement and good pace from Ryan Harris, he's taken away the short mid-wicket. He's brought in the short leg or the bat pad because the ball will duck in quickly, maybe take an inside edge and lob up in the air. He can actually have the short leg and the short mid-wicket. It's almost like bowling fast off-spin. The scoring will most likely be down the leg side, and if the timing's wrong, and here he's changing to around the wicket.
An even better shot from Sammy. Good stroke from the West Indies captain to end the over. 97 for 6.
There's typical Darren Sammy. Goes over the top. We saw a lot of this in the first innings of 41 when he hit shots like that. Raises 100 for the West Indies.
He's going to need to play those sort of shots. Just starting to go reverse the ball and causing a few issues. Sammy can be aggressive. It may change the length of the Australian bowlers, may make them bowl a little bit shorter. Just may stop causing that swing quite so much.
And straight into the hands of Long On, and he's dropped it. Well. Sammy obliged. The man was that Long On, about 3/4 way back. It's Nathan Lyon, and straight into his lap. Exactly what they were going for. He didn't get hold of it, and he escapes. 103 for 1, and they've taken a single in the bargain.
Hit flat out to line. He really didn't have to move, and it's gone straight through the hands. Probably hit a little bit harder than he thought. There's never such thing as an easy catch, but it went straight to him. He's got a good set of hands.
And bowled off the under edge. Sammy couldn't prevent it going back into the stumps. Maybe an unlucky way, you've got to say, to be dismissed, but Sammy tried his best to get back to prevent the ball going back into the stumps. They trickled back, removed the bails, and the West Indies are 106 for 7 with Sammy gone.
It's a nice tight line there from Shane Watson. And Sammy's in trying to prevent the ball going onto the stumps. He's actually kicked the ball onto the stumps himself. It's an unlucky way to get out. Not the result the West Indies side were looking for. West Indies now 106 for 7.
So Kemar Roach comes in now to replace Darren Sammy. Just wide. Big gap between the slip and the keeper. And Wade couldn't get around. Little dab by Bohr is always going to be flirting with danger, but he gets 4.
To try and be in the position where he thought the ball was going to go. Unfortunately, went a little bit finer. And you still see he's standing out there with the head down, realising that he would have taken that nice and easily if he was still where he was.
Chipped up in the air and in the gap.
Two men on the onside, close in for exactly that same shot. But he found the gap. Kemar Roach will tell you that he placed it perfectly.
In the air and taken. Error of judgment from Carlton Bohr. And another important strike for Ben Hilfenhaus in Australia.
The way the field has been set for both batsmen, you can understand exactly why they are looking to be dismissals that way as well. The pitch has not been very quick, and I suspect it's even getting a little bit slow. A few balls are stopping on day 5. So Carlton Bohr just playing a bit early through the line, and he goes for 23. It's 116 for 8.
Well, he's earned a bit of a reputation as the Dan blocker of the West Indies team in the lower order, Fidel Edwards. But it's going to take a Herculean effort from him to defy Australia for a lengthy period.
Oh, you were saying a shot up ball there, Faz? Fidel certainly is quite happy to play his strokes. They have not been great in the field, Australia.
Miscued straight up. Simple catch. This one isn't put down. Totally out of character from Fidel Edwards.
Well, he certainly wasn't learning from his partner Kemar Roach. That wasn't the approach required. As I said before, you still need runs, yes, but you have got to be very careful about which deliveries you choose to try and score off. That wasn't one. It wasn't full enough for the drive, and that was the end result. Shane Watson, a very comfortable catch. 9 wickets down, 125 runs on the board.
Devendra Bishu is the last man, but he won't be on strike right away.
I think it's a nice move by Clark. A number of reasons. Just chase the pace up as we head for the lunch break, and also give Lyon the opportunity just to take a wicket. Unsuccessful in the first innings. And almost gets it there. That ball went very quickly to Michael Clark. Very tough catches those. The full-blooded cut. Clark actually stays with it quite well.
Chance for the run out. He's made it home. No need for the hesitation. It was Kemar Roach's call.
Good job from Wade to get that ball back down nice and quickly onto the stumps. There, nice and comfortably. I think it was more surprise on Bishu's behalf. He was sort of there and would have watched for the last 10 minutes. Every time the ball had been hit there was no run. All of a sudden he's hit it there and taken off, and Bishu's thinking, oh, well, no run, and got there comfortably in the end.
Bowled him, and that's the end of the innings now. Kemar Roach had showed good resistance, and now it leaves the Australians with a target of 192.
It's been a great fight from the lower order of the West Indies to give them an opportunity to still be in this game. Australia's bowled very, very well. Ryan Harris getting the wicket here. Used a short ball to push Roach back, and then just that little bit of in-swing. Roach trying to push through the offside. Fortunately dragging it on for the West Indies. Australia worked very hard this morning. West Indies have been bowled all out for 148. See the breakdown of the game so far. West Indies, after the first innings, were in a good position. Then the innings from Ryan Harris just pulled Australia back close enough. And the bowlers have supported them well. It's now up to the West Indies bowlers to go out there and do the job for Darren Sammy and all the supporters here, and hopefully for the West Indies, they get it right early.
Well, after a very heavy shower during the lunch interval, we're set to get underway, and with the West Indies having been dismissed for 148, we welcome you back to a sun-drenched Kensington Oval, and that's the situation. Australia needing 192 runs for victory. Just about to resume with a minimum of 63 overs to be bowled, we're told. Inside edge past the off stump. Could so easily have been a first wicket for the West Indies. As it is, it's a boundary for Australia.
Roach just pushing the ball across. Warner, inside edge. Very, very close. Disappointment there for Roach.
That was very wide and called a wide.
Well, Sammy's gone back around the wicket. It's hit a foot mark and deviated hard right. Maybe that was a part of the plan, trying to bowl it into the foot marks, but it's a little wide of off stump. So he's back over the wicket.
That sounds as if it might have brushed the bat. Yes, it has. That's what you were calling for, Henry.
Well, the tactic worked, and maybe it was, I'll change, I'll bowl around, I'll bowl over, but this is very similar to the Cowan dismissal in the first innings. He falls to Darren Sammy for the second time in this match, and for the second time edging through to Carlton Ball. Sorry, wrong left-hander, Warner. It's still, Sammy's still got both of them. Warner caught it second slip by Darren Bravo in the first innings. This time it's Warner who edges through to Carlton Ball. When Windies do get their breakthrough, it's now 31 for 1.
Big appeal for a leg before. Now they're going to ask for it. Perhaps umpire Gould has really been very, very good in the match so far. Yes, they're going to go for the review. Refer is the word. No, that goes on field call. So the umpire will remain. Crowd is seeing it on the big screen. Something which shouldn't be happening. Very nearly chopped it on. May have just gone to the keeper. May have come off the under edge. Ball didn't hang on to it. He's standing up. A minimum of 50 overs to come. Only 3.2 runs per over required. Ball standing up to the wicket and getting an opportunity. Away to the boundary and finds a gap. Shane Watson so gets off the mark with 4.
It's just giving a little bit of width.
Now that's a big appeal for a leg before. Umpire Gould now will say not out again. But he struck outside the off stump, and they're going to go for a review. They've lost one already. And this is the second one. If they lose this, they won't have any more for the referral. Umpire Gould has got it spot on almost every time in this match so far. impact just outside the line of off stump. And therefore, you can't be given out for that. That's the second referral which has been taken by the West Indies and turned down. And I think that one was even from the naked eye that he was going to be struck outside the off stump. So they have no more. And they're going for it. Watson always a candidate early in his innings for that leg before decision coming forward. Survived in the first innings when he offered no shot, and the ball just was shown by Hawkeye to be clipping the top of the stumps, and they remained with the on-field call. And then West Indies didn't refer the second leg before appeal against him, and that would have been given.
I think it's a definite ploy from the West Indies bowlers to be nice and straight to him early. Does have a tendency to get that pad just in front of the bat.
And that's a drop catch. Well, things not going here for the West Indies. Sammy in the gully, dropping it two-handed, going quickly. But Sammy good enough usually to have held that.
In a game like this, in this position, they're ones you've got to take. Did have a bit on it. Probably not where Roach wanted it to be.
Ed Cowan certainly trying his best to be a bit more aggressive. Gets that one to the boundary. That's a good shot. Mid-off is up. That will go all the way.
Fantastic shot from Shane Watson there. Not a genuine half volley, but full enough.
That is not exactly where I thought he was going to hit it. I think he was looking to hit it a bit straighter and then just dragged it when it was a slower delivery.
Just shows the power Shane Watson had. He was, to be honest, I think he was done with the change of pace. Just sort of use your wrists. Just bring it round. Just reaching out in front and dragging that over mid-wicket.
Just getting into that gap between long on and mid-wicket. Good work again. Saved this team 2 runs.
Fantastic effort out there from Roach. But unfortunately, I think the foot has just actually clipped. Fortunately, the foot just on the rope, so that'll be Shane Watson's 50.
Yes, that's his half century. So 4 runs scored off that shot. Australia move on to 3 figures. They're 103 for 1, and Shane Watson gets his half century. He moves on to 51.
In the air and taken. So that Watson goes. Kieran Powell, the substitute, takes the catch, top edge sweep. West Indies have got the main accelerator from that sweep shot off the bowling of Dionarine.
Genuine top edge by Watson. He's tried to help it around the corner. Top edge, and Dionarine gets his first wicket for the match, and it's the substitute fieldsman. They made it look pretty easy, and so the man who was really pushing it along since the tea break, Shane Watson, goes. That is the wicket the West Indies wanted. They got their second as 106 on the board.
Almost got ball. He's got on a helmet, but he would have felt it. He ducked, Ponting lost the bat. Ball almost copped it.
Well, you wouldn't expect the gloves to be all that sweaty, and Carlton Boyd's just went over his shoulder.
You're lucky he's as short as he is. Sorry. Really delicate, very delicate. And goes for 4. That's experience for you, and confidence for Ricky Ponting.
And a new one in the Ponting repertoire. Reverse lap, haven't seen that one played by Ricky before, particularly when he's in single figures, but very well executed.
Caught, pulled to Chandapol at mid-wicket. Dion Ryan gets a second wicket, and Ed Cowan's struggles. It really has been a struggle for him, although he has batted through until this point of the match. 126 for 3. Cowan goes, caught by Chandapol off Dion Ryan. And now Michael Clark will come in to replace him.
Well, it's a short, quicker one. Cowan's missed so many sweep shots. Finally got one off the middle. And he can pick out Shiv Chandapol at mid-wicket, and that agony is over. Australia 126 for 3.
Banged away. Just one. But already they've got 4 runs in the over. That's just about what they require. Just under that. Well done for Dion Ryan. Got around. Ball had past him. It would have been 1, maybe even 2. Because Long On had to come in to pick it up if he'd passed him. Bowled him, so Ponting's bowled. 3rd wicket for Dion Ryan. Ball skidding through, and Ricky Ponting's last innings at Kensington Oval is ended. He goes for 14. 131 for 4.
This is almost a plan. Dion Ryan aiming for foot marks, looking for variations in bounce. Ponting actually gets the toe of the bat onto it. We saw Dave Warner escape by edging past leg stump, past off stump, but not so Ricky Ponting. He's gone for 14, and the West Indies have just snuck slightly back into the game at 131 for 4.
Down the ground, and a desperate effort. Good save, excellent save, coming around to his left at full pelt. Kemar Roach is putting a very good effort. Bowled without luck today, and appreciated by everyone in the ground. Really good piece of work. Pushed it back in.
They just think, I think this is okay. I don't think his foot's touching the rope. No, that's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant.
Ball in play. To me, that's all that counts, but not to the law.
With Mike Hussey out there, you'll see plenty of that sort of running. The infield has to sharpen up.
Yeah, 5 runs off the over without any real difficulty. A brilliant save prevented a 4. There's that reverse sweep for 4. Very well played by Hussey. Expert in that shot. So very productive over. 140 for 4. Leaves Australia with 52 to get now.
And he's got him. Another wicket. Another twist of the tail that many would not have expected. Michael Clark departs, and Narsingh Deonarine has turned into a bit of a wizard.
To it, I feel a bit silly. I actually came out and said I couldn't work out why he was on, but he's getting the wickets, he's getting the breakthrough. Australia now 140 for 5.
Sharp single again, he didn't pick it up. You've got to pick it up first, son, before you run anybody out. Reverse sweep again, 4 more. Bishu hasn't found a way to combat that yet.
So maybe you change your field. Maybe that's your bloke that goes out. Bring your point up. Make him hit through the offside.
That's a very good shout, and after deliberation he's given him. He's challenged it. Looked as if he was hit flush. Deonarine was insistent.
Just looks like a little under edge on that.
It's got to be decisive though. It's got to be, remember the decision given is out. So you've got to be able to see clearly. It brings us back to the Michael Clark situation in the first innings. It's got to be absolutely conclusive that he did get a touch to turn over the decision. It is.
I was about to say, I understand the Michael Clark thing, I understand that. And to be honest, looking there and at the umpire, when you see it front on it is difficult to see. It is difficult to see if you got bat on it. And that's the thing. This is where the referral system is fantastic, because a decision there, which unfortunately for the umpire, visually when he saw it, and when I saw it, I thought it was out as well. But we've now got the right decision, and we move on.
That's the efficient use of the technology. Probably the West Indies wish it was switched off at that time. Darren Bravo slow off the mark, not alive to the situation.
I think he was actually on the boundary getting a drink when the ball was bowled. So the thing is, it's a slower boundary out there, and we've noticed it and spoken about it all game, how much slower it is out there. You just want to see the overs bowled and a good result.
Very close to playing it on, trying the reverse again.
Has he hit that into the keeper?
Swings away for 6. That's a really big hit.
Hussey backing himself as soon as he got full. Knew exactly where he wanted to go.
In there, Bishu on it, and he takes the catch.
Well, if anything, that'll take another 2 or 3 minutes. The next batsman is already on his way. And Ryan Harris will cross 3/4 away onto the field, so he's not mucking around. Matthew Wade gets a short one, and he's got to swing hard at it. That's what the game demands. And slices it up. It's an uppercut. And Bishu makes it look pretty easy out there, even though it's in the shadows of the stand and it's under a pressure situation. So Australia lose their 6th, 177.
Well, that's gone a long, long way into the stands.
Maybe they should have changed the bowling. I think there was no doubt that Mike Hussey was taking this approach. A lot of turn from Deonarine. Got one in the slot, hit it as far as you can.
Bowled him. Not over yet, says Kimar Roach.
Well, there's some drama left yet. Mike Hussey had played with such confidence. A dash of the swashbuckling and a dash of the sensible and the frenetic. He's got it all. Goes hard at this one. He comes back off the seam. One of those cracks, I dare say. And a big wicket, Darren Sammy. Very pleased about that. Is there life left in this West Indies side yet? Terrific effort from Hussey. 32 of just 26 balls, 7 for 189. Yorker or bouncer, Mikey.
Good length on off stump. A slip is in place. Ben Hilfenhaus just might push at it. It's a long way down the leg side. No signal coming from the umpire as well, so that means rather that he got a bit of bat.
Well, Australia need 2 to win. You don't need anybody in outfield. The fine leg third men, they've got to come up. Infield in nice and close. No singles. Everybody up. I'm not sure what fine leg's doing down there unless he's catching a hook.
Bit of an inside edge, I think, again there. That was the only thing that could have saved him.
You wouldn't want one of these to go to a referral when you've got none left. Fair bit of bat on that one. That's the spot to bowl. And Kimar Roach is up to the pressure. He's right on the money. And Tony Hill's up to the pressure as well.
Both umpires have done well. Kimar Roach has bowled beautifully. I think he has had a good match. Did well with the bat as well. That's the thing that Australia wanted, to make sure they could not lose this test. Scores level.
Yes, Darren, you could have had fine leg up there somewhere, an extra fieldsman on the leg side. That may not have been a single. One run to win. Light fading. The only element missing from this is Australia are 7 down, not 9.
Well, as you know, Australia have been involved in 2 ties before. 1960, that famous tie test in Brisbane, and of course in India, tie test there in 1986. Missing leg. Looking for that Yorker, Kimar Roach, just slipping down the leg side. And there's no sunlight now in evidence on the field. In total shadow at the moment.
Apart from blazing sunshine on the western horizon. Yeah, the field is covered in shadow.
Oh, a bit of a fumble. Close call. I think they'll be going upstairs to have a look at that. They are celebrating Australia, but it's not quite over yet.
Now looking at the action live, and now we're a long way away, it looked like this is not out. We're about to find out. The slide of the bat, the ball's coming in, and the bat just wins that race. And that is the winning run in a fabulous test match.
Gripping test match. Very exciting in the end, although so many people thought at the end of the first innings with Australia giving up a 43-run lead and so many runs scored in the first innings by both teams that it would peter out into a draw. Far from that. Those Australians who travelled all the way to the Caribbean, they would have enjoyed this first test match. They got their money's worth.
Well, Michael, tough test match.
A fantastic test match, Tony. It was very hardly fought. Look, I think Australian cricket in general has some very fond memories of this ground here in Barbados, and I think the last 5 days will go down as a few more great memories.
You were very positive, even though West Indies were right on top at the end of the third day. You were very positive in your comments at the end of the third day that you could come back and win the match.
Well, it's nice when it turns out that way, but I think you have to be. You know, every game you play, you want to win. You want to give yourself every opportunity to win. I think full credit has to go to our bowlers, not only the way they batted in our first innings, but the way they come out and bowled in the second innings as well. And no doubt that went a long way to us winning the game.
Have the bowlers concentrated very much on their batting in the nets? We saw the last 3 of them contribute very significantly.
Well, they're very good batters to start with. As bowlers, I think, we've got more than one all-rounder in Shane Watson in our team, and I think Ryan Harris showed that in the first innings. I think you've got guys that continue to work hard in the nets and want to get better, and it's vital, as you've seen throughout this game. The tail is no longer there to just bowl. Batting is just as important as bowling, and the same as a batsman. A few part-time overs can go a long way to winning you a test match as well.
A lot of comment on the pitch here. It was ideal for batting, but, we got a test match which went right down to the wire.
I think it was a great test match. I think obviously the first couple of days were very nice for batting, and then there was a little bit of inconsistent bounce up and down, but the wicket was still good enough to chase a decent score on the last day. I think that's what you want in Test cricket. You want to see a result. You want to see some entertaining cricket, and I know the Australian fans had a great time. Their support has been outstanding over the last 5 days, and hopefully we've pleased some people back at home as well.
And now the man of the match as adjudicated by Hendy Wallace, and the man of the match for his batting and his bowling is Ryan Harris. Well done, Ryan. I read on the internet that when you came here you said you weren't certain you were going to play in this test match. Now there are a lot of West Indians who feel you shouldn't have.
Yeah, no, I honestly didn't think I was going to. Ben Hilfenhaus, Peter Siddle, and until he got injured in our summer, James Pattinson had a great summer. So, look, I was going to obviously come over here and bowl as well as I could in the nets and try and push my cause. But look, I was happy that the morning of I got the nod.
You mentioned bowling in the nets and so on. It's your batting really that got Australia back in this match.
Yeah, a lot of people will probably say it's about time, but look, it was important that the tail got out there, and as it did back in the Australian summer, wagged pretty well, and we had a goal of probably making about 150 runs, which I think we got 151. So that was our goal at the start of the day, and all of us worked well and knew our plan, and we're clear on our plans.
That's the full match summary. Australia win by 3 wickets and they lead the series 1 test match to 0 with 2 to go.
This has been a Fox Sports presentation.